What's up, guys? Mr. Fit the Flourish, and today I wanted to talk about TradingView tools that I actually use. All right, TradingView tools I actually use. All right, so let's get right into it because I think you should be using these tools as well. So let's get into it. Here we go. Boom, in a vroom. We're gonna pick a stock that I don't typically trade, so that we can kind of get in there and mark some stuff. All right. All right. Number one, here we go. This is going to be perfect. So number one, the number one tool that I use. Okay. And when we're talking about tools, we're talking about these things on the side. Okay. These lines on the side. I need to make sure that this shows up on the screen. I'm going to make sure it shows up on the screen. All right. I'll do that later. But anyways, so we're talking about these tools on the left-hand side of the screen. So the first tool that I use the most is going to be, boom, trendline, the trendline tool. So it is the second option down. You go to lines, and it's the first option in that lines section, trendline tool, right? And once you click on that, you can kind of draw a trend line to see, hey, are we in an uptrend? Are we in a downtrend? And it really helps to kind of visualize what's going on in the market. We're getting lower highs in this case here on now. Okay, it kind of helps you visualize what's going on. It's really nice, and I use it quite a bit. Where else do I use it? I use it to kind of mark micro double bottom, micro double top. So here we have a micro double top, which is when you had, let me pull this back. And this is on the weekly time frame that I'm looking at now, but you could look at and use these tools on any time frame. But if we have a micro double top, that basically means that we have a close and then an open right next to each other, and that usually signals a reversal. When a bar, we have one bar close and then the next bar opens right next to each other, that signals a reversal. So I like to kind of mark that because that level becomes important, and as you move it across, you can see, oh dang, we hit that level again, so now we have a double top. Okay, so really good for depicting that. And then also I use it for micro double bottoms. Let's see if we can find a micro double bottom anywhere right here. So that'd be an area where I would kind of use this trend line tool as well. And then again, you could just use the trend line tool to just kind of connect two lows to make a trend. Okay, but yeah, that trend line tool is the number one tool to use, just kind of visualizing different trends and also areas of resistance and support. The next one is going to be in that same area. So 1, 2, so you'll toggle down 2 selections, and it's going to be the horizontal line. So pretty similar to the trend line. However, the horizontal line spans the entire length, going like pretty much across like the x-axis here, the x-axis. So going horizontally, okay, horizontal line, that's what it's called. So I usually just do option H, but if you go to lines, you go down to horizontal line. On my MacBook, it's option H. I think on regular like Microsoft computers, it's going to be control H. But basically, you'll click on that, go to horizontal, not horizontal ray, go to horizontal line. And then I use my key levels. Like I said, we have a micro double top here, and then we hit that again. So that's how I draw my key levels. I'm like, oh man, look at this area that we're hitting. And you could see these key levels are pretty insane. So it spans, again, it goes all the way to the left and all the way across to the right. And you'll see those are areas where we're reacting. Look at that. So we were resistance here, and then we broke above. And then we broke below, whatever, but we broke back above, and now we've literally closed right on that key level. So that's why I like to use these horizontal levels. I use them as key levels. But one thing that a lot of people keep asking me is like, yo, what is that indicator that you're using? It's not an indicator. It's literally a horizontal line. But when you click on the lines, what you could do is you could style that line to your liking. So you can make it skinny with 1 point, or you can make it 2. I like to make it really big so I can see exactly where my key levels are, because price always reacts at those key levels. Okay, so I click on the line, and then I'll edit that. You can also change the colors. I like to make this is an old. I could tell this is an old documentation, but basically I like to make my key levels so area like inflection points. So for instance, let's go to Tesla. So on Tesla, you'll see a bunch of white lines, and then you will see orange lines, or I say they're golden lines, because those are areas that act as major support or demand or supplier demand, whatever. But it once we hit that area, you know it's gonna rip. So once we break above this area, Tesla flips into a rippy mode. But when Tesla breaks below it, it flips into a bearish mode. And I do this for quite a few different stocks. Like I'll mark different major levels like gold. So 590 is like the yearly pivot level. So that's, dang, we're all the way up here now. What the heck? Yo, SPY just ripped. Anyways, I'll mark like important levels gold. And how do you do that? You click on it, and then you could just go to the colors and pick a color that you like. Okay, people. And then last but not least, when you click on it, you can also decide if you want it as a line, a straight line, if you want it dashed, or if you want it dotted. I like my lines dotted. I don't know why. It just feels comfortable. The other stuff it feels weird. It feels weird to me. But people keep asking me, yo, what's that indicator? Bro, I literally just put a horizontal line on TradingView. Like, it's just a tool. And then I just change the colors. That's it. All right? But that's another important tool. Alrighty, so let's go to more tools, more toolios. All right. The next important tool. Ooh, this one is a fire one, actually. Yeah, now we're gonna have to look at this. We're gonna have to look at this one. All right, so this one, I made a whole video on this, but the next important tool, which I use quite a bit, is the volume profile. So again, you go down to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, so you go down to the 5th selection on the left-hand side, and then you go to volume-based tools, go to anchored volume profile. What does that do? Okay, what the heck does that do? So it basically tells you what the volume is at every price point from a swing low to a swing high is basically what you want to measure. So I see there's a high here, there's a low here, so I'm just going to click right here, and then it shows you, hey, what is the volume at each price point? This line right here is the point of control, it's the area of highest volume. And then it can also show you where there's like really low volume and areas that you have to kind of get above in order to get a breakout. Okay, so that's why I like to really use the volume profile quite a bit. And then again, like I said, there's a whole video on like how to use it, etc., etc. All right. Besides that, let's go into price range. So this is another tool that I like. So again, selection on the left-hand side, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The 5th selection on the left-hand side. Go down to measurer, and I like to kind of use this this measurement tool to see, how many points did this move, or what percent gain was this. So on this breakout right here, dang, we talked about this, dang. All right, so we talked about this ascending triangle on SoFi, and we said, hey, it's gonna break out. But basically I want to see, hey, from those highs, what percent gain was this on SoFi? And this is absolutely ridiculous. In 1 month, it went up, the equity itself went up 50%. So it shows you right here, it went up 50%, aka 7.38 points, also known as $7.38. Okay, but I like using that measurement tool because it tells you like, what's the percentage, or how far is this, etc., etc. So that is a tool I use quite a bit as well. And then let's get into we'll do 3 more, or 4 more actually. All right, so I'd like to use fib retracements as well. So for the fib retracement, you go from a swing low to swing high, and then you get your golden pocket there. So what selection is that? That's 1, 2, 3. That's the 3rd selection here on the left-hand side, and it's Fibonacci tools. You use the fib retracement. And then along with the fib retracement, you can also do 1, 2, 3, 3rd selection on the left. The 2nd selection in the Fibonacci section is going to be the Fibonacci extension. So how do you use that? You go from that swing low to a swing high, and then you drag back to that swing low, and then it shows you, hey, what are our, dang, that's crazy. What are our targets? So 1.618 fib would be your first target. Your second target would be the 2.618 fib, and et cetera, et cetera. Fibonacci extensions, okay? And then last but not least, besides that, a lot of people like to use 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, the 5th selection, and then you go to projections, and you could see the R tool, basically like the risk to reward ratio calculator, basically. So if you were to take longs, so let's say that you enter after this candle closes, so you enter right here, You're like, oh, this candle closed. We're breaking out. I'm entering. So you enter your trade here. And you know that the trade is going to go bad if you close below this level here. So right here. Oh, that's another tool I actually use too. I use the rectangle, and I also like to use these arrows. All right. But basically, the risk reward will show you, okay, well, if we exit here, that's our low. So that's going to be right there. So that's our risk. And then we entered here. Our reward is our target. So our target would be up here at this key level. So that shows you, when you hover over, it shows you that the risk to reward ratio is 3.55. So this is the long reward calculator. And if you go back, you can go to projections and you could do a short. So if you're doing a short and you're like, okay, well, I think once we hit this, we're going to go down. Well, now you can measure the risk to reward to the downside. Okay. So just wanted to kind of share those tools. I don't know if people use TradingView like that, like beginners, I guess. I don't know if people are like actually like scrolling through the different tabs. I remember when I first started trading, I downloaded TradingView and I clicked on every single tool, and then I studied every single tool because I was like, what is this? What is a Fibonacci fan? What is this this Gann projection? What is this Fibonacci extension? Like, and I learned about every single tool, and then volume-based profiles got me into auction market theory and understanding how prices move, and then like volume, like all that stuff. So basically, clicking on those is really good, and it helps you to not only visualize the direction of the trades, especially using trend lines and horizontal lines, vertical lines, all that stuff, but it just helps you to grow as a trader. And like I said, visualize the trades, see what's going on the chart, and understand what areas are important areas. And yeah. Oh, I didn't show the alert tool, but I do set a lot of. I need to show that. Let's get back on. No, this is probably the most important thing, and I didn't show it. All right. So if you are like me and you work, so I still work as a doctor of pharmacy. So if you're like me and you work, you want to set alerts, okay? You definitely want to be setting alerts. So what do my alerts look like? So basically, you can pretty much click anywhere on the chart. You do a right click, and then wherever you want to set that alert, you do add alert here on SoFi. So once price crosses that level, then you'll get an alert. It'll go bing, and it can be on your phone as well. So it can go to your phone as well, which is what I like to do. I like to make the alerts go to my phone so that if I'm at work or I'm like just chilling, it goes bing, and I'm like, oh, I know I need to enter this trade. Or it goes bing, and I'm like, oh, okay, I might need to exit this trade. So you can just click anywhere on the chart. If that's your level, then add that alert. Or you can click on a line, and you can actually go to this add alert button, and then add an alert once it crosses your desired line. All right. Anyways, like I said, it's your boy, Mr. Fit to Flourish. These are the tools that I use, and I think you could use them too. I'm out. What's up, guys? It's your boy, Mr. Fit to Flourish. If you like this content, when it comes to trading or fitness or just growing in person, feel free to click any of the links in the bio. So we have a link for our Discord for trading, and that trading Discord, we have a free 3-day trial that's going on. But if you're not someone who really likes trading, or if you want to grow as a person in terms of mindset, your finance, your health, wealth, spiritual fitness, and you like that content, we do have a group specifically tailored to helping men grow. That Discord link is in the bio. We have a free section, and then we have a paid section where we go more in detail and do one-on-ones. If you want to do one-on-ones, again, those links have all the things that you want to see. If you want to see more of this content, you like this content, keep liking, subscribing, and doing all that YouTube-y stuff. Check out the Discords down in the links below. Good morning, welcome to the Fit to Flourish podcast. Let's talk wellness, finance, and growth.